So we have reached another important topic in this course, probability distributions. Let's start with a very layman approach again. What is probability distribution? In a nutshell, it can be defined as a statistical function that describes all possible values and the equivalent likelihood or probability that a random variable can take within a given defined range. Now, this random variable can actually be a categorical variable or a numeric variable. Now, basically, where do we use probability distributions? They have a lot of use cases. So let's say an investor might use a probability distribution of a stock to assess the possibilities of returns that stock may have in the future. If it is a high risk, he might generally tend to not invest in that. But then there's a high probability that he might get good amount of returns on that stock. Then there's a very high chance he might go ahead and invest in that. Similarly, an insurance company would like to assess what is the chance that a person might actually meet an accident in a specified time range. So, based on various factors, we understand the chances of getting into a situation where the accident might happen, calculate the risk, and then take an action based on the kind of assessment they have. So, how do we do this? We have a simple assessment over here. Let's say in the second example over here. What we're doing is we're trying to showcase the probability distributions for the sum of two six-sided dice. So a single dice, which is let's say fair dice, has six sides and it will have values from 1 to 6, and you have two of them. Now when you roll two of them, and you're trying to look at the probabilities of the different values that make an outcome, which is the sum of those two dice. So when you roll two dice, you can have values like either the least value would be 2, so that which means that both the dice will have a 1 and a 1, and the maximum would be 12, where you'll have a 6 and a 6. And it could take any value. It could take around like 4 and 5, it could take 6 and 3, it could be a combination of any of the six numbers for the two dice. Now, if you try to build a probability distribution chart for this use case, what you would have on the x-axis would be the list of all possible outcomes for that use case. Now, what are the different values? So in this case, the value would be sum of the values from two dice. Now, what is the distinct set of values that the dice can showcase? The least will be 2, that will have 1 and 1, and the maximum will be 12. You won't have any values which will fall outside this boundary. Now, what are the different possibilities of getting a value like 6, a value like 8, a value like 10, right? So let's say, now this is a very basic example. Let's say you want to understand, you're playing a gambling game and you're rolling two dice, and your friend is asking you to bet, okay, and you place a bet that, okay, if the sum of this of the two dice is around 7, then I would like to place a bet for $100, right? And now, if you can actually look over, you can see that the chances that you get the number 7 is very high. So anything above 7, anything below 7, you have your own assessment of the use case. So over here, for this dice example, let's say you have two dice and you have numbers 2 to 12. What are the chances that the number will end up being 2? What is the probability of the dice showcasing some of the values as 2? So you'll have just one scenario. If both the dice will have the values 1 and 1, and out of total 36 outcomes, if you roll two dice, 6 sides and 6 sides, so you have total combinations of 36 different values. So only one out of those 36 combinations can actually give you a value of 2, right? So that is the probability over here. We have a value of 1 by 36. Similarly, for 12, if you only have 6 and 6, you'll have the probability value as you'll have the total as 12. So the probability of that is also 1 by 6. What are the chances that you'll have a sum as 6? You could either have a 2 and a 4, you could have a 5 and a 1, you could have a 3 and a 3. So if you add all the possibilities of getting that by the total number of possibilities, you get the equivalent probability of getting a 6. So this is basically how you can interpret a simple probability distribution. Now there are various different types of important probability distributions. Let's have a look at them. These are just a few of them. Now, the normal distribution, something which you are already aware about, you would actually try to want to assess what are the chances that a student will score about 80% in the test. So looking, or let's say some score in the test. So looking at the normal distribution, we can just find where does a student, what are the chances that a student will actually score about 80, or between 50 to 60, or between 55 to 75. So that's a score which you can assess and take a risk accordingly. Then binomial distribution. So binomial distribution is actually used in scenarios like, let's say, you want to understand what are the chances that if you flip a coin 10 times, what are the chances that you get straight 10 times heads, right? So different types of use cases where you can understand where a binomial distribution can be useful. So over here, this is a scenario where you have flipped a coin 2 times, and what are the chances that you got a head 2 times, right? So these are the possible outcomes. One is you have zero outcomes of heads, that is both the times you got tail. One is you have one time, at least one of the times you got a head. In the last case is both of the time you got a head. So what are the probabilities of getting a zero head, one head, and two head? You have a distribution of all those outcomes over here, and then you can take a risk. So generally, companies take this kind of distributions to understand, assess the risk associated with certain events, and then take a call. Similarly, we have a normal distribution. Normal distribution can actually be the same one which we referred earlier. So instead of two dice, just assume we had one die. So what are the possibilities of getting a specific value? Now, if it's a one die, the probability of getting any side is 1 by 6. So in that scenario, all of them will have a value of 1 by 6. Simple, plain, uniform distribution. And there are definitely a lot of more, and they have valid use cases where you can actually go ahead and find when this happens. There's another famous distribution called the Poisson distribution, written as poison, but it's pronounced as Poisson distribution, where you can go and find out the possibility of, so let's say you have a call center, and this call center you are trying to understand the total volume of calls that happens every day, or you're trying to understand the total number of accidents that happen on road every day, and you want to find out the total number of days that will be required to, when X number of accidents will happen. Scenarios like that will actually be easily modeled using a simple probability distribution. So that's about probability distribution. We move on to the last topic in this module, which is one of the most important ones, and we'll be using it extensively in the next coming module too. It's called hypothesis testing.